Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Paul Pogba, because there is huge developments on Paul Pogba. Also going to be giving you the latest news on Adrian Rabiot, like I did this morning on my first video that I did. Also going to be giving you some news on Ramsey. I'm going to be giving you some more news on Ighalo. Of course, I give you the news on Ighalo yesterday night, of course. So we will start with the news on Paul Pogba and that. So, reports have been emerging out of the mainstream media today, saying that Juventus have offered us Ramsey and Adrian Rabiot in a swap deal for Paul Pogba, should Manchester United go along with this. Now, reports were stemming from the Italian press as well, I think it was today, and they've said that Manchester United have been in negotiations with Adrian Rabiot's representatives over the possible move to Old Trafford this summer. Now, there's been a few clubs that have been in for Adrian Rabiot. Everton have been in for him, and Arsenal have recently been in for the player. Now, Adrian Rabiot's already confirmed that he does want to leave Juventus, because he is refusing to return to Juventus after lockdown. And Adrian Rabiot, doesn't really get in Juventus' team anyway, because Juventus would prefer to play the likes of Matuidi and Janik and that in their midfield ahead of Adrian Rabiot. This has only been Adrian Rabiot's first season with Juventus. When he did sign for Juventus last summer, he signed a 4-year contract, so he's got a contract with them until 2023. And Juventus, of course, did get him on a 3 transfer from PSG last summer. Adrian Rabiot, is a pretty decent player, disregarding any swap deal. I think it did say it would cost in the £20-odd million range, and I think he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. But, Adrian Rabiot he did spend the vast majority of his career with PSG. He made his senior debut for PSG in 2012. And he was at PSG for several years, and don't forget he won a total of 18 major honours. And like I said, Juventus have recruited quite a few players on free transfers in recent years. Don't forget they got Ramsey on the free, Rabiot, and also to Emre Can from Liverpool and that. So there you go. So there's talks of Adrian Rabiot as well as Ramsey coming to Manchester United as part of a swap deal of Pogba going back to Juventus. So yeah, Adrian Rabiot does want to leave, and I think he's keen on making a move to the Premier League, to be quite honest with you. I think when he was playing in the youth setup, he actually had a spell as well at Manchester City, and he is only in his mid-20s. So do you think Rabiot would do well if he came to the Premier League and that? Ramsey, I think a lot of Manchester United fans would take Ramsey at the football club, reflecting on, the good pedigree that he's got in the Premier League. Obviously, Ramsey did endure 11 years with Arsenal. I think he played over 200-odd games in the Premier League for them, and he made over 300-odd appearances in all competitions. I think it was like 362 appearances he made in all competitions. We've been in for Ramsey in the past a few times. Back in 2008, which was 12 years ago now, we tried getting Ramsey. This was when he was at Cardiff, but obviously, Arsenal ended up getting him. Arsenal did pay £5 million for him from Cardiff. Of course, Ramsey, joined Juventus last summer. Like I said, Juventus got him on a free transfer. And I think Ramsey is the second highest paid player at Juventus, just behind Cristiano Ronaldo. Ramsey, his versatility is good. He's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but you can also put him on the left wing, and you can also put him on the right wing. So reportedly, Ramsey and Rabiot, the two players that Juventus have offered us, that's stemming from the Sun. I know the Sun isn't really a reliable source. Last week, it also mentioned that Juventus are willing to offer. There was other names mentioned as well. There was Janik mentioned. De Ligt got mentioned a while back. Douglas Costa also got mentioned. Because Juventus want to include a couple of their players, because, they can't afford to pay £100 million for Pogba. Because we've said if we're to sell Paul Pogba this summer, we want at least £100 million for the player. There was reports coming out the other week saying, we could only get £60 or £70 million for Pogba if he is sold in the summer. Because like I said, a lot of teams are going to endure an unprecedented summer transfer window, obviously, due to the financial issues, due to the coronavirus pandemic and that. And obviously, players will go for less than what they're actually worth. But I still think there's a possibility chance that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United. Maybe not for the foreseeable future, but I think he will be at the football club next season, because I don't think we'll accept this offer from Juventus, to be quite honest with you. Now, obviously, revert back to before all the football was suspended. You had obviously Paul Pogba saying he was interested in staying at Man United and he was interested in extending his contract at the football club. Later on that particular week, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had come out and said that Paul Pogba will remain at Manchester United next season, because Solskjaer wants to partner up Pogba with Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, and I'm excited about the prospect of them playing in our midfield, because they've not yet been given the opportunity of Pogba and Bruno Fernandes to play together. Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, you'd have Bruno Fernandes obviously in the number 10, which is his predominant position, and you'd have Paul Pogba either in the number 6 or you'd have him in the number 8 and that. So yeah, I think he'll stay at Manchester United with Pogba, because I think Solskjaer's been talking with Pogba recently. And obviously, Solskjaer told Pogba, that he wants to make him a key part of the club's future in that. I think by the way, Paul Pogba's got exactly a year left on his Manchester United contract. Did confirm recently as well that Ed Woodward had lowered his asking price from 150 million to 100 million pounds. And like I said, Paul Pogba's only played 8 times this season for the football club. His appearances have been limited due to his injuries and that. And don't forget, Pogba gave an interview to the United podcast the other week. Obviously, talking about the issues that he's had with injuries and how infuriated he has been with it and that. He also responded to the criticism that he's received from Graham Souness, because Graham Souness and also to Roy Keane have been Paul Pogba's biggest critics. Rio Ferdinand's give his verdict on it, and he's actually said we should sell Paul Pogba. The main explanation is to stop the criticism, because since we re-signed Paul Pogba back in 2016, he's had a hell of a lot of criticism. Don't forget, he also endured a very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era and that. So there you go. But Pogba has revealed his plans ahead of his return. He's aiming to be the best player in the world and stuff like that. And I think Paul Pogba did have the surgery on his ankle back in January, if I'm right. But, we did pay 89 million for him. He is our most expensive signing. And he's also one of the highest paid players at the football club, because he's on £300,000 a week, is Paul Pogba at Manchester United. Now, obviously, Marca, which is a Spanish newspaper, they confirmed recently that Real Madrid are no longer interested in Paul Pogba. The main explanation is because Real Madrid are not willing to meet his wage demands. Plus, Real Madrid have got other midfielders on their agenda now. Revert back to last summer, Paul Pogba was relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid, because his actual preference was a move to Real Madrid last summer, because Pogba came out last summer and said he wanted to leave Manchester United. He was seeking for a new challenge in that. But the main explanation why Pogba's move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him, because we mentioned that we wanted £180 million. Real Madrid were not willing to meet that valuation and that. So Paul Pogba was talking a hell of a lot about Real Madrid last year, about his dreams of playing under Zinedine Zidane and all that. Like I said, Real Madrid recruited about 5 or 6 players in last summer. They're looking to get rid of more players as well. They're looking to get rid of Rodriguez, Bale. Karim Benzema's coming to an end of his career. I think they're looking to get rid of Jovetic as well. They're looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos on a permanent transfer. So there you go. But I said if Paul Pogba believes he will go back to Juventus. The other week it said that PSG had expressed their interest. For PSG to get Paul Pogba, disregarding any swap deal, they'd either have to sell Mbappe or Neymar, who are the 2 most expensive players in the world, but they'd have to sell them to fund the move for Pogba. Inter Milan, they've also recently been interested in Pogba. Inter Milan, have already recruited 3 of our players, don't forget. Young, Lukaku and Sanchez. Obviously, they've loaned Icardi and Ivan Perisic out. I think they're looking to get rid of them, by the way, on permanent transfers. Maybe Conte is keen on reuniting with Paul Pogba and that. Barcelona have also been in for him in the past. Don't forget we had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger, under the Alex Ferguson era, but due to limited appearances, we had to let Paul Pogba go on a 3 transfer and that. I think the only way Paul Pogba will be here for the foreseeable future is if he can prove a point next season, if he is still here and he revives himself. And if, of course, if we can, get him a new long-term contract and that. But he does need the opportunity to play alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. Pogba's won 2 trophies with the club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. And I think the best we saw of Paul Pogba was in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager and that. So there you go. So that's the news on Paul Pogba anyway. Jap Stam has come out and he's actually said that Man United should keep Paul Pogba. You had Paulins the other week saying that Man United should get rid of Paul Pogba. So people have got different perceptions on it. So there you go. But swap deals have been on the agenda, and like I said, swap deals are very, very rare in the modern game and that. So there you go. So yeah, so that's the news on Pogba, Ramsey and Adrian Rabiot. Now let's delve into some of the news on Adrian Ighalo. Now, I've been keeping up to date of what's been going on with Adrian Ighalo on a regular basis, haven't I? So, from my own perception, I think it's likely that Manchester United will miss out on Adrian Ighalo. Now, obviously, Adrian Ighalo's already come out and confirmed that he wants his loan deal at the football club extended. Because obviously, Adrian Ighalo's loan expires at the end of this month, which is the 31st of May. Now, obviously, Shanghai Shenhua, they obviously came out recently, which was yesterday, and it was stemming from Sky Sports, and they said they expect Adrian Ighalo to return from his loan spell from Man United in time for the Chinese Super League, in time for the new season in the Chinese Super League, and I think their season does start in July, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, we have got Adrian Ighalo on loan at the moment. We did pay around £4 million to get him on loan. His wages at Shanghai Shenhua were around £300,000 a week, and I think, are we paying him around £100,000 a week out of then £300,000 a week wages and stuff like that? And I think he's enjoyed a good start to his Manchester United career. Obviously, before the football season got suspended, Ighalo has got, 4 goals in 3 starts for the football club. To be fair, he has been a good cover-up to Marcus Rashford, because Marcus Rashford has been out with a back injury since January. Obviously, Solskjaer's confirmed we've got a fully fit squad, when the season does resume. Obviously, the government have confirmed that the football will be back next month, which is very, very positive news, because I think the Premier League have had a meeting today. The Premier League have had controversial plans though. I think it was reported the other week there was talks of 80 minutes being played. There was talks of, new games venued at neutral stadiums. There was talks of 5 substitutions. But yeah, I think it's going to resume next month. I'm not actually sure what date it is. I haven't really read into it recently. But I heard that, it has to finish by the 31st of July. Obviously, so European games can be played in August. Football's been suspended for the good. Is it 7 or 8 weeks now? Or is it 9 weeks? The Bundesliga, by the way, is starting on the 16th of May. Of course, games are going to be played behind closed doors due to public health reasons. So there you go. So it's good news that that the season is going to be resuming in that, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans will be impressed. But revert back to what I said about Ighalo. Yeah, so as it came out yesterday, for us to get Adrian Ighalo on a permanent transfer, we have got to pay £20 million. That figure's totally contrast to what he said before, because before he said it had only cost us £15 million to get Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Gary Neville's give his overarching view on this, and he's actually advised Solskjaer to go against the purchase of Adrian Ighalo, because he doubts that Adrian Ighalo is worth £20 million. Worth £20 million. So probably Ighalo will go back to Shanghai Shenhua. It did actually recently mention as well, saying that Newcastle have expressed their interest in Adrian Ighalo. They're only interested in getting him in if the Saudi Arabians do take over their football club, because the Saudi Arabians are set to take over Newcastle. Obviously, I think they're going to pay around £300 million reportedly to take over Newcastle. Mike Ashley, quite a few weeks ago, agreed to sell Newcastle, because Mike Ashley's been their current owner, is it, for around 12 or 13 years now, and Newcastle have been very, very critical of him. If Newcastle if the takeover is complete, Newcastle will be the richest club in the Premier League, because the Saudi Arabians are worth a good 200 odd billion, or is it 300 odd billion pounds, as some reports have mentioned. And obviously, the Saudi Arabians are run by Amanda Staveley, don't forget. And Newcastle, obviously, want to get Galactico signings if the takeover is completed. They also want to recommend a new manager in to replace Steve Bruce, because obviously, they say that Steve Bruce isn't there for foreseeable future. There's been possible talks of Rafa Benitez going back to Newcastle because he resigned last summer, but that's only if Pochettino doesn't go to Newcastle, because I think Pochettino is Newcastle's primary candidate, to take over and that. It said the other week from Sky Sports that Newcastle were willing to offer £19 million a year for Pochettino, and reportedly I think they've got to pay something in compensation as well to Tottenham, so there you go. But yeah, so maybe we may miss out on Odin Ighalo, and maybe we won't decide to get him on a permanent transfer, but Solskjaer did say earlier on this season that it's very, very likely that we'll get Odin Ighalo on a permanent transfer and that, because he's actually a lifelong Manchester United fan, and he's an option of a different type of centre forward and that. But like I mentioned on my video yesterday, what striker are Manchester United going to sign? Because there has been quite a few strikers on our agenda. I recently gave you the news on Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan. We're in for him. Obviously, we've been in for Moussa Dembele. I give you the news on Moussa Dembele this morning. He could possibly be sold in the summer, like the Lyon president confirmed. We've been in for Kane, but Kane to Manchester United isn't going to happen. Obviously, there's been talks of Erling Haaland. Aubameyang, he's a cheap solution. Who else? There's been so many strikers on our agenda, but which striker, should Manchester United sign? And that is the question, because we definitely need a striker. Because obviously, Lukaku departed the football club last summer, and we didn't get that replacement for Lukaku last summer. We have got good attacking players, don't get me wrong. We really, really have got good attacking players. Rashford's one of our best players. He was one of our best players earlier on in the season. Obviously, Martial did really, really well before the football season got suspended. Obviously he scored like 16 or 17 goals this season for the football club. Martial is now into his 5th season at Manchester United, and I've got to say, one of the best seasons Anthony Martial enjoyed was his debut season back under the Louis van Gaal era, because we got Martial at the age of 19 and we paid around £36 million for him from Monaco. And obviously, he does predominantly play out wide, but obviously, this season he has been playing in that number 9 role, because I think actually, Martial seems to be more effective in that central position. So I do believe we'll probably keep Anthony Martial in that central position. And when Rashford comes back, we'll put Rashford out wide, because Rashford seems to be more effective from that wide position. Like I said, Mason Greenwood's another good attacking player we've got. He's done really, really well as Mason Greenwood. And this has only been his first full season in the senior squad. Greenwood's, 18 years of age? I think he's got 12 or 13 goals in all competitions this season for us. But Mason Greenwood is definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. He's seldom started in the Premier League this season, but next season I expect him to get more starts in the Premier League, Mason Greenwood. James, another good attacking player we've got. Daniel James can play on the left, he can play on the right, but tends to be more effective from that left-hand side. It does Daniel James, but he's been very, very good for us. We got him from Swansea last summer for just £15 million. And, I've been surprised with him. I didn't expect him to settle in as good as he has done straight away as well. I didn't expect him, to play as many games to the extent as he has done. So he has been a surprise solution, because, some players that come from the Championship to the Premier League are taking a huge stride in their footballing career. They really, really are. And that. But there again, he did very, very well at Swansea last season, did Daniel James. So there you go. Bruno Fernandes, he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He's definitely, made a difference in the team, and I'll pinpoint some out. He's definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United as Bruno Fernandes. I think, has he been put in the team of the season? I know he won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good performances. Of course, we paid £65 million for Bruno Fernandes with add-ons included, and he's definitely the foreseeable future for Manchester United. And that. So we have got a lot of good attacking players, but we don't get Ighalo permanently. We still need to recommend the striker in. Don't forget we're also in search for the right winner. We need to obviously get a midfielder in as well. There's reports obviously emerging out as well saying that we're looking to get a centre half in. we've got a lot of centre-halves in the team anyway. Obviously, we've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first-choice centre-halves. We've got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our backups. Obviously, you've got Fosu Mensah that can also play as a centre-half. But, regardless of whether we get a centre-half in or not, we're going to get rid of Smalling, Jones and Rojo, definitely. Smalling's out on loan at Roma at the moment. And he's done very, very well at Roma, to be fair. I think Roma are looking to get him on a permanent transfer. Also, too, Rojo's out on loan at Estudiantes. And obviously, Phil Jones is still here, but we need to get rid of Phil Jones because, he's been so inconsistent for Manchester United and that. But yeah, so we're looking, to get a centre half in that. So there you go. But it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed his plans, for when the summer transfer window does open. Obviously, we are preparing for a busy summer transfer window. So, Solskjaer's hopeful that we can recruit the right calibre players in, because we've got to get the right players to Manchester United this summer so we can become future title contenders. Solskjaer's obviously, revealed that he wants to make around 4 signings in the summer. I'm very, very sceptical, though, that we're going to make 4 signings in the summer. Because, I think we're probably going to have an unprecedented summer transfer window. I think we're going to make signings. We could maybe make 1, we could maybe make 2. But I don't think, we are going to make 4 signings, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Don't forget, Solskjaer did come out and, he says, we will enter a much changed transfer market in that. Despite Solskjaer coming out the other week saying that we will exploit the transfer market when it does open. Ed Woodward, has been talking a lot in recent weeks. Don't forget, he came out quite a few weeks ago now and he told the fans forum that we may not do business as usual in the summer transfer market. But he's still willing to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's obviously made a transfer promise to Solskjaer as Ed Woodward. But Ed Woodward said this on numerous occasions this season, that he's willing to back Solskjaer, and he's also said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. I think a lot of people as well do like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy, because he does want to continue the policy of recruiting young British players to Manchester United like he did do last summer. Because so far, Solskjaer's recruited 5 players into the football club in 3 transfer windows and he spent £220 million. And 3 of the 5 players that he's brought in so far, of course, are British. So there you go in that. So yeah, so it's good that he has revealed his plans, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that. Solskjaer, of course, has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in, so that's a positive you can take. Obviously, we've seen Ashley Young leave the football club. He left this year after he endured 8.5 years at Manchester United. We saw Darmian go last summer. We saw Valencia leave last summer after he endured 10 years at Man United. We saw, like I said, Smalling, Rojo went out on loan this year. Smalling went out on loan last summer. Obviously, Herrera left the football club last summer after he endured 5 years at Man United. Fellaini left back in January 2019. He was the first player to leave the football club under the Solskjaer era. We paid just over £27 million for Fellaini back in January back under David Moyes era, sorry. And of course, we let Lukaku go and we let Alexis Sanchez go out on loan. And don't forget, Dean Henderson's also out on loan. So a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in. But he's going to be getting rid of more deadwood in the summer because there's still deadwood now in the squad. Like I said, Lingard's probably the worst player we've got, so I think we're going to move him on. Pereira's going to go. Delors could possibly go. Delors only made 1 start in the Premier League this season. Delors had a couple of injuries, hasn't he? And he is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Like I said, Smalling and Rojo will probably go as well. Hopefully as well we can get rid of Sanchez permanently. I don't think we'll get rid of him permanently though. I think we'll probably loan Alexis Sanchez back out, to be quite honest with you. We don't know what's happening with Dean Henderson. Whether we're going to keep him on loan at Sheffield or whether we're going to recall him back, I don't know. Or he goes out on loan somewhere else. He is on loan at Sheffield United at the moment, is Dean Henderson, and got to say he has been a revelation for Sheffield United as Dean Henderson. He really, really has, and that. He's had quite a few loan spells as Dean Henderson. He has got a contract with Man United until 2022. But, we have not yet decided on his future. Obviously, he said that David De Gea will remain our number 1 next season. He's been our number 1 for several years now. But, don't forget reports have been recently coming out saying that if the right offer came in for De Gea this summer, we could sell him. Because Duncan Castles has come out and told the Transfer Window podcast that Man United have been unhappy with De Gea. And we did make a mistake by giving him a new long-term contract last year and that. So, David De Gea said the other week, he intends to stay at Manchester United for the next 10 years or so. So, there we go. So, we don't know what's happening with Dean Henderson. Like I said, with Pogba, we don't know what's fully happening with him yet, but I expect him to stay at the club. Another good thing, a lot of players' contracts have been extended since Solskjaer came in as well, but we've got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire at next year. Yeah, next year there's around 9 players' contracts, that are due to expire. They really, really are. And I've got to say as well, like I've said on my other videos, Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well because the young players have been given their opportunities this season and that. So we have got a reputation now of promoting the youth. But when Solskjaer first came into the club anyway, he said all the players, will get their chances to express themselves in that. So that's a positive. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. Solskjaer's been here now almost 17 months, so, he has been at the football club, now over a year. And like I said, there's positives to take from his tenure so far, and there's also negatives to take from his tenure, and there's also stuff that he does need to work on. I think he maybe needs to make a tactical change. I still think he needs to work out his best formation because I don't think he knows his best formations yet. As you've realised this season, if you've been watching Man United, Solskjaer's made a lot of rotation. He's persistently, changed formation. He's gone with a 4-2-3-1 a lot. Obviously, he's gone with 3 at the back quite a few times. He's mainly gone with 3 at the back against elite opposition as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But from my own perception, we look more expansive with 3 at the back. I think quite a few times as well he has gone with that 4-3-3 formation and that. And Solskjaer also needs to improve on his approach to the games against smaller teams because we haven't been so good against the smaller teams, let's be honest. And, we've dropped a lot of points this season and, there's games this season that we've drawn and even lost as well. Let's put that into the equation that Manchester United should have won. Maybe we should have won at Southampton away. We should have beaten Palace at home. We lost 2-1 to them. We should have beaten Burnley at home. We lost 2-0 to Burnley. I think that was our last defeat. We should have won away at Newcastle. We lost that game by 1-0. We lost away at West Ham 2-0. We should have beaten Wolves, when we drew them 1-1 on the second game of the season. So, we've had some very, very poor results under Solskjaer. But there again, we've had some big wins under Solskjaer. So let's just put that into the equation. I think, we've got a very, very good squad. But just analysing it at the moment, the squad is not good enough to mount any title challenge up or win the title. So this is why I did say we need more signings and that. But I can assure that Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. If it doesn't work out, that's when, I think he will be sacked. Don't forget we have enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. Don't forget, so let's just put that into the equation and that. But like I've said to you, I've been critical of Solskjaer this season. A lot of Manchester United fans have been critical of Solskjaer this season. But not all of the blame stems from him. Some of the blame stems from him, but not all of the blame stems from him. A lot of the blame stems from Woodward. Also, a lot of the blame stems from the Glazers and that. So there you go. There you go and that. Woodward's been criticised, obviously, of us overpaying for players in recent years. Obviously, of how poor our recruitment policy's been for several years. This is another reason, why he's being criticised. And I don't like the way the football club's been run in general, for several years and that. The Glazers have, taken a hell of a lot of money out of the club since they got recommended in. I think they've taken over £1 billion out of the football club. Yes, they have in that. And some of the players were to blame earlier on this season, because they wasn't playing to their usual standards. So there you go and that. And like I said, we won't ever be the team that we was under Ferguson, and that is something we have got to accept. No one's going to replicate Ferguson's legacy. No one's ever going to, be Manchester United manager for 26, 27 years like Alex Ferguson was, because we had so much success under the Alex Ferguson era. Ferguson won a total of 38 major honours, but, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. You know, from 1986 to 1990, he didn't win anything, Alex Ferguson and that. But that's where all the success came from, under the Alex Ferguson era and that. But since he retired in 2013, we have been playing catch up. You know, we've had, obviously, you know, 4 managers. Obviously, you know, we sat Moyes, we sat Van Gaal, and we sat Jose Mourinho. Oh, and now Solskjaer's our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era and that. But, you know, we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Ferguson era. A lot of the players, you know, we have recruited in, you know, haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. I think there's, like I mentioned on one of my videos the other day, I think, you know, there's players that we sold after Ferguson retired, there's players that we shouldn't have sold after Ferguson's retirement, you know, so that's a mistake we've made, to be quite honest with you. But there you go. We spent nearly £1 billion in the last 6 or 7 years. So in reality, reflect on the players and the money we've spent, you know, we should be in Liverpool's position. We're sitting 5th in the Premier League, 3 points behind Chelsea. We can win the FA Cup, we can win the Europa League because we are still in them, and hopefully, you know, we can do that. Hopefully Manchester United can do that. And you know the news on Sancho and Grealish, you know, there are priority targets are Sancho and Grealish. I think we want to get Grealish in, regardless of what happens with Paul Pogba. We still want to get a deal over the line for Jack Grealish. You know, and we want to get Sancho, but I don't know now if we're going to get Sancho, to be quite honest with you. But there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Do consider subscribe as always. Take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.